Well, she has a confession, and this one is about the lives of some unborn babies. Are we keeping them alive or we're letting them go? I'm interested, especially when it's about a life. My dear, I'm ready to listen to your confession.
Hello, Miss Nancy.
Hi.
I am a young lady, a media person at the age of 27 years old. I wasn't married, but in a relationship with a guy. I prefer to call him His Highness or my king.
Why your honey?
Because he deserves that.
Oh.
But the unexpected happened, Miss Nancy. Out of love, I gave him the access to my Visa card, which he can withdraw money as to when or wherever he wants.
You're such a kind lady.
Miss Nancy, he usually loves to spend on me when we go out with his friends or mine. So his friends or mine will think the guy is loving or caring to me, but which isn't his money, it's mine. One sunny afternoon, Miss Nancy, the guy doesn't work, he isn't working. So I was at work when I received a call from the police telling me my guy has been shot at his left leg. The police further on narrated a story telling me that my guy was caught in a house, robbing a house. So
robbing the house?
Yes, Miss Nancy.
Like he's a thief?
He's a thief.
Wow.
He was robbing a house. So he was shot because he took on his heels to run from the moment he got caught. Okay. So they had to shoot him so that to prevent him from running away. So after the call, I went to the police station to find out and check whether he's the one or not.
Yeah.
But to my ultimate surprise, he was the one I found dead lying down.
So when you went to the police station, he was actually dead?
He was
and it was your
dead.
man?
It was my man.
Wow. So sorry.
But Miss Nancy, here's the case, I'm pregnant, and then the pregnancy contains 2 children, that's twins. And I don't know what to do. But I don't also want to have the children as well.
You are currently pregnant for your armed robber boyfriend?
Yes, Miss
who's
Nancy.
just been shot dead by the police?
Yes.
And you didn't ever know what he did?
Never.
And from your narration, you're saying that he's been spending your money. So the monies he was making from the robbery, where was it going? What was he using it for?
I had no idea.
And you are fertile, and you are currently carrying twins for him.
Yes, Miss Nancy.
Whoa. What do you want us to do? Why are you here?
Miss Nancy, I'm confused. I don't know what to do because I don't want to have the children. I think maybe the children might come and be like their father that's been into armed robbery too. So I don't want to have the children. And I'm confused right now.
And you don't have any child?
No, please.
And you're 27 years old?
Yes, Miss Nancy.
She is 27. She got intimate with an armed robber. Unfortunately, the guy died, do I say in service or in operation? Whichever way, God rest his soul. She's currently carrying twins of his. She's not sure if she needs to keep this pregnancy. If they grow up and they ask who their father was, what does she tell them? She's also afraid if they would grow up to become like their father. She doesn't know what to do. And then again, if she's going to have these children, she's going to be a single mother catering for 2 children. And it's her first children. What does she do? People, let's go into the studio. My audience are ready. My counselor is also ready. As Semsebe. Thank you, thank you. Yes, this is Accra. Sometimes you're not married to people, but you are forced to cohabit with your partner because of life's challenges. Such as a story, yes. Anybody with a...
Hello, Miss Nancy. I think she should have the kids. Because if she trains the kids well, I don't think they'll be like the father.
How about a single woman having her first children as twins? These days, just one person, financially, how is she going to do it? How is she going to survive?
From the way she spoke, you could see that she's wealthy enough to take care of the kids.
She's a media person. I'm a media person. I know how worthy she is.
Yeah, but at least if you could give your credit card to a guy to spread you and take you out and stuff. I think you can take off some 2 kids and
Yeah,
things will be
probably
fine.
the Visa card only had 500 Ghana cedis on it. You never know, but I like what you are saying. To the world, he was an armed robber, but to her, he was a loving partner. And that is why she would even dare to give her card to him and all of that. Does she clear out all of these pleasant memories just because he ended up dying in the hands of the police because he did something really bad? Yes, my lady.
Miss Nancy.
Yes.
Well, everything has happened already, and she's conceived twins. Well, to me, I don't think she should abort the babies. Why? Because I support the 2 earlier suggestions. Because, yes, we train people to become what we want. They might not automatically become all that you want, but at least it takes something from you. And since the father is not around, it's a soul something, and you also have like family members. You could train the children not to become like their father. So they are not going to automatically become like their father. It's just that maybe people might throw comments at you that, oh, these children are children of robbers, of a robber.
How are these children going to survive in
Yes.
this environment where everybody wants to talk about your background, where you're coming from, who your parents are? Are they going to be happy children in the society?
That's the only problem she might have. So it's left alone for her to have the strength to overcome all these comments from people.
Right. Yes, Alafia?
Yeah, Miss Nancy, the name is Alafia. Until you are caught, you will never be noticed. Because we have armed robbers living in our neighborhoods. We have them, we play soccer with them, we watch movies with them, we drink with them at the bar.
Some are sleeping with them as husbands.
Some even come to our sisters and date them. And we become friends with them. Until you are caught, you will never know. And these people that are into this kind of profession are extremely smart people. So they don't leave traces.
Yeah.
It takes someone who knows or who had information that this person is like this, then you begin to look at the loopholes. If not, you will never get noticed.
In some cases, abortions can be legal in even our part of the world. And people, I think that it's a good time for me to introduce my resource person, my guest, my special man, Ogochukwu, right here into the studio. Mr. Ogu. Oh, yeah. I love what you're wearing.
Thank you.
Celebrities right here, right?
So good to see you again.
It's always wonderful to have you.
Same
Her
here.
story is quite a pathetic one.
It is.
And first of all, let's talk about people that are not married, that are cohabitating,
Yes.
living together.
Yes.
What should be the process? Yes, you are not married to this person, but you are living and sleeping with this person on a daily basis.
Yes.
I mean, how far should you go? Whom should you know? Whom shouldn't you know within this period of cohabiting? Accra is hot.
Accra is hot,
So
man.
for rent purposes, people could be sharing rooms and apartments, not just because of love.
That is true. That is very true. That's a reality. You know, but once you get into cohabiting and you've become living lovers, it is very important that you are accountable.
Okay.
Let the families know.
Okay.
And if you are certain about that relationship, do the needful. Start something. Because you see, in African culture, and it happens even in Ghana, if someone dies in that situation, in some cultures, you're expected to marry them even in death and then perform their funeral rites.
That is if it's a woman.
If it's a woman,
that died.
see. And so these things are very fundamental. You know, cohabiting is dangerous. Being living lovers, especially when you're not accountable, is very dangerous.
How do we make ourselves accountable? What are some of the things we should know and do?
Yes, so the first thing, the guy should, with his family, not his friends, his family, visit the family of the
The
young lady and let them know, okay, oh, I plan to marry your daughter. We're not ready yet. We don't have everything, but we want to initiate the process.
Okay.
Once you announce that, in certain cultures, it is approved. And now we see you as husband and wife, you know, and we support you to do everything that you're meant to do. Whereupon, if you also try to cheat or go extramarital, you know, we also know how to manage it. But that first level of information has got to be shared, and the first thing's done.
Thank you. Too many stories are flying about friends that went on vacations together. The one dies, people, boyfriend, girlfriend leaves school, goes to hang out with a boyfriend, and they get an accident, and she's dead, and nobody even know. I mean, Oga, you are a father, you are a lecturer, you are a lawyer. The youth, how far can you go with relationships and about letting your family know exactly where you are when you are not where you're supposed to be?
As a young person, if you're in a relationship and you're keeping it a secret, it's a danger signal. You're already in trouble. You know, anything can go wrong and you won't even be able to explain it. And it's far worse when the family, you know, of the deceased don't want to believe what actually happened. So you're a prime suspect. You know, especially when you do that and you suddenly become successful.
Yes.
You know the immediate you know, impression that people are going to have. So it's a dangerous thing. Young people have got to seek for mentors. They have to learn accountability. There are no two ways about it. You know, and once you find yourself in that situation, yes, you could be ready to be in a relationship at 18. We've seen situations like that. But once you find yourself in that situation, let your parents know. Once your parents know, they will know what to do.
These issues are all over the place.
Absolutely.
Recently heard of a young lady whose friend was unwell and asked that she comes over to her end because her end is closer to the hospital, and overnight the girl got critically ill and she died. And
imagine that.
She just, I mean, two ladies, she just didn't know what to do, whom to call, had no contact and no access to her phone.
That's dangerous.
These things are all over the place. I think that as much as we need to love and bring people around us, accountability is essential.
Important.
If that's your best friend that you can stay the night with, your family should know. Somebody that cares about you should equally know. Are we good? Yeah. Guys, does it make sense to you? Or oh, celebrate us more. We're moving from cohabitating to make-believe relationships. This young lady is telling us that she is a media person. She has a consistent income, even though she's not rich. But whenever they go out, she would give her card to her gentleman to flaunt. And every one of her friends, and even the guy's friends, think that he's the guy that is a payer, taking good care of her and in charge. Oga, is this wise? I may love you, but if you are broke, you are a broke man that I love you, the money is mine.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. You know, some of the times we make the mistake of trying to front and give an impression that everything is okay. And you see, when you appear strong, you don't need help. So imagine that the guy, you know, I don't have a job. Maybe in those circles, somebody would have been able to help you. But now you're already fronting that you're okay. It is also a sign of what could have happened had he not died. Because we now have situations where ladies give monies to men to come and pay their bride price.
Is that right?
It's absolutely wrong. Wrong is the only word coming to my mind. I wish there was something worse than that.
Word,
absolutely, I would have used it. Because when you do that, you married yourself. You married yourself. And if tomorrow, you know, the man begins to complain, the woman is not submissive, she's not, no, you married yourself. There is no covering over you. And the relationship is already on an imbalance.
Okay, so technically, what are the no-go areas? I may be affluent, I may have connections. There are things I can do to support my marriage ceremony. But what shouldn't I do as a woman?
Don't pay bride price. Don't give the man money to pay your bride price.
Like you put your own money, like 5,000 Ghana cedis in an envelope. Give it to the man that you should give it to your own father.
You're marrying yourself.
You can dash your daddy that money, la.
Precisely. You know, and don't allow the man sponsor whatever it is that happens in your father's house when they come.
Okay.
Yes.
So traditionally, how is it done? The man comes to pay the bride price.
Yes.
And the woman's family does what?
Provide the refreshment.
At the traditional ceremony.
At the traditional ceremony. And then after that, give you a dowry. Yes, and the dowry is usually worth much more than the bride price.
Okay.
So the dowry is the leverage they start
is
with.
for the family or the father or the uncles that are there. The dowry is the money that the man is giving to you, the woman, as a seed money for the life you're about to spend together.
But it's coming from the woman's family. It is the woman's family that provides the dowry in the African society.
That is the Nigerian...
Well, generally in the African society, the dowry is supposed to be provided by the family of the woman. Yes, that is what they start the marriage relationship with. So the family of the man provide the bride price.
Okay.
But when the woman is being released into marriage, she is settled.
Her own family gives her something to push her.
Absolutely.
And that is supposed to be for my pocket. In case you misbehave, I use it to sort myself out.
No,
right?
it's supposed to support the family. That is why in certain situations you hear a man say to a woman in insult, what did you bring into the marriage? What did you bring into the marriage? It means that your family did not release you well. Okay. It's not about the worth. It's about the fact that you were released into marriage with the blessing of your family and a token that is going to help your marriage.
Wonderful, wonderful. This is great information. Now, you guys know you really need to prepare, right? Yeah. Now, what I know about the Akan traditional marriage is that the gentleman gives the bride price and everything with which they are coming to, the list that the family gives to him.
Yes.
And then the man would also give his woman seed, a token for life. Yes.
So all those things show that you are capable of taking care of the woman when she comes into your house. You're showing your capability as a man and as a husband. But the family also provides a certain level of blessing for their daughter. Why? Because in the African society, marriage is not between two people that profess love to each other. It's between the families. So that bond, the family of the woman also contributes to it.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yes, ma'am.
So now that there is a gentleman and a lady watching us,
yes, please.
There is a couple watching us. The woman is the breadwinner, and she's been pretending that her husband is a hardworking guy. How do I let my family know that everything has been done by me? I owe everything, so that they would know. How do I do this without affecting the ego of my man?
So when you are married, you know, there's some kind of partnership that exists between two of you. In that situation, you provide that support. You're not providing that support as a permanent thing. You know, the man is supposed to get better.
Yes.
If he has a dream, has aspirations, he should get better. You know, so in that situation, you're providing support, and you're doing it because you're doing it for yourself by virtue of that family. But don't allow yourself to be abused because of it. You know, so don't play husband per se. Just provide support. You know,
do not play husband.
Yes.
Just provide support.
Just provide support
for your partner.
For your partner.
And it's not for every partner. It's for the partners that have a vision, that are working on something.
And are married.
And are married, of course.
Yes.
Oh, so, Oga, you are against a woman like this cohabiting and sponsoring the man?
No. Then what is the purpose of the cohabitation at the end of the day? You know, you're not his father.
Yes.
You know, you're not his father.
Mother
yes.
well.
So you can provide support once in a while, but
when
once
I
you begin
cook and you are there, I would you can have some.
Something
but
like
I'll
that.
not put money in your pocket.
No, because now you're doing it out of obligation.
Yeah.
And when you're doing it out of obligation, you're carrying a burden that is too much for you to bear. And at the end of the day, if that man marries you, you don't even know if he married you because he loves you. You know, people take these things for granted, and most women that do this end up being abused in their marriages. You know, and this is by research.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good one. Now let's go to the young lady that had a phone call that the man you live with is dead, whether by accident, by robbery, or you are with somebody and accidentally the person passes on.
Yeah.
What do you do? Whom do you go to? What steps should you take from the legal and traditional point of view, sir?
Yeah. Your first bait will be to reach out to your family.
Okay.
You need to build a support system around yourself.
Yourself?
Yes.
You should reach out to your own family.
Yes.
And let them know what is happening to somebody around you.
Around you. It's very important because you're going to need that support.
Okay.
Your family, your friends. There has to be the group of people around you at that time have got to be people that can bear you up.
Okay.
Encourage you to think right, do things right. Because when you're in grief, you're capable of doing anything.
Yeah.
Like we've seen in her situation.
Yeah.
You know, you're capable of doing anything. So you need people that can tell you, sit down, calm down, let's think about this. Let's speak to dad, let's call uncle, let's call the pastor. You know, somebody that can tell you that, oh, there are other opinions that you need to check out before you do what you want to do. They are very important.
So you need to reach out to your own family.
Yes.
Mature people in your family
Yes.
so that they can give you the support.
So they can give
and
you
then
the
you
support.
carry on from there.
And you carry on from
Good
there.
one.
Yes, ma'am.
So there was somebody that, so sorry about it, please.
Miss Nancy, so August's submission has drawn my mind to something. So could it be that she given the man the credit card to sponsor her and everything, puts the man, gives the man a sort of pressure for him to enter into robbery,
trying to make
to get
money
something
by
for
all means at
himself
all
so that-
costs.
Yeah, so that she stops sponsoring him, so that he could be the man he is.
It is possible, but I mean, that shouldn't be grounds for you to go that far.
Yeah.
But it is possible, especially because from her story, she didn't say the man is in that habit. You know, he's always around helping in the house, doing the chores and all of that. So she can easily tell where he spends his time. And then all of a sudden she gets this news. It could be the pressure.
The pressure.
Yes, depending on the kind of person he is.
She was, spoon feeding him, and the ego in him didn't like being spoon fed.
That is true.
At least he had the right attitude, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was something good in him.
Only misplaced.
Only misplaced.
Yes.
I'm with you. Hi, Harris.
Hi, Miss Nancy.
You good?
Yes, please.
Nice.
Yeah. For me, I think the lady was doing good with the guy. But it was for the guy to think straight. Now, this lady is really helping me out on something. So let me actually, go in line, try to look for a proper job or something that could help out. Fine, she's working. You take care of the house. It happens even in America, whereby when the lady is working, the man is home, taking care of the kids or maybe, the house chores and all that.
Yeah.
And whenever the man is also working, the lady will also take over. So if it happens like that, maybe you feel that maybe the lady is doing too much and they want to do something. And first of all, I don't think the guy is a robber. Because if the guy was an armed robber, he would have been having money to flaunt the lady.
Yeah. So it's probably his first time and he was unlucky.
Exactly.
What
And
a
also-
sad story.
And also it might happen that maybe he wasn't there to rob, but maybe he was passing by, or maybe something happened. That's why he was shot. Because sometimes, if you, everybody is running.
It's a possibility as well.
So many possibilities, yeah. When you love people, you actually want to make excuses for them. Because from what she says, there was no reason for her to think that this was a bad person.
Yes.
Which armed robber will stay at home, cook for you, clean for you whilst you're at work?
Yes, that is it.
That is.
Well, but Alafia also said there are real people amongst us who, so we shouldn't. Please pass on the microphone.
Okay, so looking at what Councillor Lawyer Ugu has just said, and then what my fellow colleagues have said, I'm also thinking, in this particular situation, then who are his friends? Who were the people that they were hanging out with? In this case, can the lady go back and start doing the digging? Or if the case is with the police, can we give out names, list of people, places that they normally meet, so the CID can go in and do the background check of each and every one of the friends, so that we can really identify whether the guy was into it and he was pretending, or it was just an accident.
Yeah, because grief makes you do so many things. She was very conclusive in her statement that the guy was an armed robber.
The police calls you.
And the police
you go
calls
to the
exactly.
police station. The guy is there and he's shot.
Yes.
What could have caused that?
Yes, but when you're in grief, you take their word immediately, but you, even as a journalist, you might want to investigate a little more, find out, like Alafia was saying, from his friends, okay? Are you guys into this? Or how did he come into this situation? perhaps in the process, you will find out a number of things. Of course, whether you find out that he's not or not, you will get to a point where you have to deal with a certain level of stigma because of what has already been said, you know, and just trust for vindication someday.
Now to grief.
Yes, ma'am.
The processes of grief. She seems to have brushed off the whole idea of that the man that she lives with, eats with, is dead.
Yeah.
And is now worried about her reputation and that of the children
Absolutely.
she may or may not have.
Yes.
Is she grieving?
Yes.
Is she in a good mental place right now?
No, she's not.
Because she's
she's
ignoring.
every other thing. She's just thinking about,
I'm pregnant.
I'm pregnant.
And I'm pregnant for an armed robber.
An armed robber. You know, so she needs help. I was actually wondering if she's been able to speak with her parents, her older sister, her older brother, her pastor, you know, someone.
When these things happen, you don't want anybody to even know.
Well, the thing is, when you raise it, you're going to hear one of two things.
Yeah.
We were warning you and you didn't listen.
Yeah.
Or it's not possible, let's investigate further.
Yeah.
It has to be one of them, you know. And so it's funny that she's also not asking anyone, you know, but definitely she needs to reach out and learn a few things.
Now, there is something that just dropped. My lady, are you okay?
Yes, Miss Nancy.
Good. Let me ask you this. Your parents, yours and that of the gentleman, were they aware that you both were in a relationship, one, and that you were living together, two?
Yes, Miss Nancy, they were aware.
Both parents were aware.
Yes, Miss Nancy.
Have you reached out to them since he passed on?
No, please.
Why not?
Because I'm afraid to. I'm scared my parents might be disappointed in me.
Yeah, the stigma.
Yes, but it also means she's taking the word, with profound respect to the police. I'm not saying that they were wrong or anything, but she's taking their word for it, and she's not willing to go any further. You know, but the truth of the matter is, if she doesn't seek help, if she doesn't find a support system around her, the danger is not just for the kids. Even she is in danger.
Herself is in danger.
Yes.
We usually would have the discussion here and then go outside and ask you what you think. She is pregnant for a man she loved, lived with, but wasn't married to. And this man just died, and it's only because the police said he was caught robbing a house. So she's practically pregnant for an armed robber who just died. Does she keep the pregnancy or she lets go of it?
If I were the lady, what I would do is to keep the pregnancy because I loved him before his death. So I cannot give up on him now that he is dead. Though I didn't know he was an armed robber or he has gotten himself into this, I wouldn't believe it till I have proof that he did it. But I will keep the pregnancy and honor him with the kids.
Parenting hasn't got to do with just two people. It takes a whole lot, like the community in which you grow in, to be a parent. And being an armed robber, that wasn't what he was, if I may put it like that. Assuming this gentleman coming in wasn't an armed robber, but then he was only coerced into it because of the choice of friends he had, then this is a different case. But in this situation, this young lady has to give birth to these twins. Their fate will be determined by she herself, how she goes about mentoring these kids, and the community in which she wants to grow these kids into. Thank you.
If I were the lady, then I'm getting pregnant for a person that I never knew that she was a thief, an armed robber. Then now I know that she's an armed robber. The person too is dead. The man is dead. Then I'm carrying his daughters, twins. I won't abort it. Because if I abort it, I won't know if maybe in future they are going to be the great person to look after me. So I won't abort the baby. So if I were the lady, I'll advise myself that I won't abort the babies.
We are back from the streets and into the studio. There is still a lot more to discuss and say to this wonderful young lady. To you, my lady in red hair and red dress. Okay, so Miss Red.
My name is Deborah.
Hi, Debbie.
Yes, please, I have a question for Councillor Ogu.
Sure.
Yes, he was saying something that the lady should seek for help. And then I want to know if she's sick for help and then they don't help her, what should she do?
What kind of help are you asking?
As in, they taking care of their unborn baby.
Okay.
From hospital and as in
all of that, the process of
the
being
bills,
pregnant
yeah.
and giving birth. Yes.
Okay, well, the first thing is that she hasn't really said that the major problem is about the bill, okay? And when you have the support is not going to take away your responsibility.
Oga,
Yes,
not to cut you short.
Yes,
so
ma'am.
sorry about it. She's still here. My lady,
Miss Nancy.
do you have the financial strength to cater for the 2 children?
Yes, Miss Nancy.
You do. So without a man, you can still take care of your children.
Yes, Miss Nancy.
Awesome. That is established. Back to you,
Yes,
sir.
you know, so that we're not going to be able to take away the pressure, but we are there to help her manage the pressure. Even you know, couples, when they are married and they have children, there's pressure that comes with it, you know, and so it's a reality that she needs to embrace, you know. So the support system is just to encourage her, teach her what she needs to know, how to manage the challenges when they come, you know, and people that will come around to encourage you from time to time and tell you that, man, this is not the end of the world. Children are a blessing. Enjoy the blessing. You might be pregnant with the president. You know how we say it, you know. And so just to encourage you and continue to bear you up, you know, and at times when you are seriously under pressure, there are people that can say, you know what, keep the kids with me.
Yeah.
You know, for the next 1 week. Come back, take your kids.
And take them.
Yes. You know, that's the kind of support we provide. It takes a village to raise a child. You know.
It takes a village to raise a child.
Yes, ma'am.
Let us talk about giving support to people that are grieving, giving support to people that are in distress.
Yes.
Here, it's difficult. Everybody wants the details of the story.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to be involved in your healing.
Yes, that is so true. That is so true. About how did it happen, what happened, and things like that.
That's just about it.
Yes.
And they do not even care how many times you have to narrate and what the narration does to your own body and your mind.
Absolutely. You know, and it also tells you that you need to be careful about the circle you belong to. You know, who matters to you at that time? Who is the first person you should communicate this information to? Because there are people that, you know, the moment you communicate with the right people, the wrong people come around, they shield you.
Yes.
You know, oh, so what happened? No, don't worry. I'll talk to you about that. Let her be. And things like that. You need people like that around you. And when you have brought in the wrong people into your life, your grieving process becomes even
stressful, longer. Other things come
in. You know, and at the time, it turns to bitterness. You're angry at yourself. You're angry at the other person for dying. You're angry at every other person. Absolutely. You know, and it becomes too muddied.
We've almost come to the end of this episode of Confessions, but Alafia here says he's got a last question.
Miss Nancy, just one. To Our Lady.
Yes.
Based on the counselor's advice and all the opinions in here, I just want to find out, is she going to keep the baby or she wants to abort?
My lady.
Nancy.
The question is not for the gods. It is for you. Are we keeping the babies or we are letting them go? Because personally, if you are keeping these babies, I am so interested. I will give you every help that I can.
Miss Nancy, I'm keeping the babies.
Yes. We are keeping the babies. Absolutely. And these babies are, I take them very, very, very personally. We're going to give you the help that you need, all the assistance that TV3 can gather. We will give it to you, and we promise you that you'll be glad you came and you will feel loved and supported all through the journey by us and with us. Oga, This is refreshing.
It is very refreshing.
At least.
Yes, and I'd just like to close by saying to her that this doesn't mean she won't feel funny any longer. She will feel the pressure. You know, she will come to a point where she will wonder if she made the right decision by keeping the kids. But that is the time to reach out to people like Miss Nancy and tell them, this is what I'm feeling. What do you think?
Reaching out. Sometimes we just need that person to listen to us. Sometimes we need that warm hug to make us feel loved. Sometimes we need just the kind words. And I tell you today on Confessions that whatever you think that in your days of distress you will need, be that person to another one, and it will come back to you, a good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. This is Confessions. My name is Miss Nancy.